9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Liftoff.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Clear tower. Roger tower.
Welcome to the Alien Pro Podcast. It is Saturday, March 7th, 2026. I'm joined here today with Abhishek from India. Welcome, Abhishek. How are you today, and what's going on?
Thank you. I'm very good. And how are you?
I'm living the dream, brother.
Great.
The world's at war. Everything's on fire. Is India going to
Yeah.
get involved in the war in Iran?
No, I don't really think so because India is someone who always balances things, and India always first looks after its people, and then like the minimum it should do for the people, it does. Like the Pakistan, what happened. But right now, I don't think that it will do anything against or for Iran.
Well, that's
And
probably
yeah.
you guys are smarter than we are. Yeah,
Well,
getting involved in this. So
yeah.
what part of India do you live in?
I live in East India, so it is Kolkata, West Bengal.
Okay, I think I had mentioned I had a guy that worked for me that was from Punjab, and he was a big believer in UFOs. He's I don't know, I never got out of
Yeah.
him. Have you ever seen a UFO or extraterrestrial or anything?
Yeah, actually, the thing is, when you look up, and then there are pretty many things you cannot really explain. So that is the first basis of everything that you think of an UFO. And I had somewhat seen some like flying saucers and bit of light, but then I had to really scientifically think that whether it is that or something else. And then I had to probe into whatever resource materials I had. So it's very scientific for me whenever I see things and stuff.
That's interesting. What do you do for a living, Abhishek? What's
Yeah,
your
I'm an actor.
Oh, really?
And in education, I have done engineering in mechanical.
Wow. So do you live in a
Yeah, after
highly
the after mechanical engineering, I've done MBA.
I'm always curious when I talk to someone in another country. We always get, our perception of, which is probably the same with you, your perception of have you been to America?
Not really.
I
I've not
never,
been to
I,
America, but my relatives stay in America, San Francisco, near like one relative I talked today lives in Sacramento,
oh,
California.
that's funny. That's where we are. So,
Yeah.
um, the population density, I always have to ask, you always see pictures of India where the population, it's like people everywhere, and it's just crazy with the population density. Is that really the case where you live?
Yeah, but Kolkata is pretty dense. But India is some like if you actually live in India for about 6 months, you would slowly recognize that it is kind of a world. It is kind of a world inside India. Like India is not really a country because so many divisions it has, and so many cultures, so many traditions, and so many languages it has that you would be like, okay, this is a different world. And other like America, Europe, the entire Europe would be something else. And inside India, it will be completely different. Like I am in West Bengal, and someone in south of India would be completely different from me in every aspect.
That's amazing. So
Yeah, yeah.
how did you get in? You showed it. We've been chatting on Facebook. How did you get interested in UFOs and extraterrestrials? When you were younger?
Look, I have like when I was small, like from then on, the main thing I was curious about everything that is not really like possible inside human mind, like not really proved. And I've watched like history TV and other alien probes and all, and I've been so very interested in area number 51 and stuff that is in your US only. And I have also read about alien bodies that are there inside there, and but those are not really provable because we are not in a position. You and I or anybody normally are not in a position to actually prove things. So
No. We never.
yeah,
I haven't. Like my wife doesn't believe. She says if I can't put my hand on it or see it with my own eyes, it doesn't exist. Which I haven't seen anything, but I believe there is, based on the accounts that I've heard from people talking and what I've read.
but really these days, like 5 years, 4 years, I have started to believe that if there are aliens, they are not really in the normal dimension, like our dimension. You understand dimension? Like
Yes.
they are not in the solar system and they are not also in the galaxy. So they are in a somewhat of a parallel dimension. So whenever they have to come, they have to break the dimensional barrier and they have to get inside. And that is the reason why we are not able to search them anywhere, because they are coming from a different dimension which has different coordinates.
I've heard that before. I mean,
Yeah.
but are they here? Like, do they come? Are they based here at all? Do you think, like undersea or underground somewhere, or you know?
Yeah. The thing is, in Indian ancient mythology, there are several accounts of a different species living alongside humans. And one of the prominent species are called Nagas. So there is a temple in South India. It's called Padmana Swami Temple, and there is a door inside that. Like there were about 5 or 6 other doors, and the government ordered to open them, and there were found like treasures all over there. But there was one door, it couldn't be opened, and it was locked, and it was told that only a certain mantra would actually open it. And they were like it was a sacred underground place where the Nagas live. So aliens are like Nagas only. Just the name has changed. Like uh, US would call them aliens, we would call them Nagas or something else.
Yeah.
So it's a linear concept. The concept is always linear, but the names will be different. So you would think that it is different, but it is actually not. It's the same.
Have you studied the history in Indian UFO lore? I mean, stories like I guess there was way back. I mean, thousands of years ago, they talked about and I believe it was set in India. There was a actual war between different types of UFO. They're called Varones, or they had a name. It's like a V something name, and they were battling in the sky, and there was fire and. Have you heard those ancient stories from India?
Yeah. Of course. They were not only they were fighting with fire and stuff, but if you properly read the ancient Indian texts, like you can go to the Vedas and stuff, they were fighting with practically nuclear weapons. Like the amount of damage it was told that they were making and how they were making, that can only be done by atomic bombs and nuclear bombs. So you would certainly think that, okay, one arrow can contain that nuclear power. But right now, the nuclear arsenal in our planet only is so very advanced that even a small half a gram or like even point grams of nuclear material can destroy practically half of Earth or like more than that. So that is pretty much possible, when you actually see that.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
I want to ask you, have you heard of Vimanas? Vimanas.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. Do you think they just do? I mean, this happened thousands of years ago, probably.
Yeah.
And do you think we destroyed the world? You think at that point the world was destroyed and then rebuilt after that?
Yes. Look, Yeah,
Not
and for that, I would first go to scientific knowledge and what has come out. So there is a place in India, in Haryana, in the north of India, it's called Kurukshetra. So it was told that the Mahabharata, the famous Mahabharata, you have heard of Mahabharata, right?
oh, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. So Mahabharata was held in that Kurukshetra field, and right now you can actually, if you properly trace the sand of that place, there would be nuclear trace materials available there. So there are traces of nuclear materials in that Kurukshetra field. So what can you say? Like,
Wow. Now in India, I mean, do they like here? We always hear about the stories of the crashed ships in more modern times, I should say. If you hear, is there books, or do you read, or have you heard stories about any crashed UFOs or anything that's housed? It was so big that they couldn't hide it; they had to build a building around it, or anything like that in India.
yeah. I heard that that was located somewhere near the U.S. border with Mexico, and another in somewhat like a Houston.
Yeah.
So it was like a pretty big UFO, or like a part UFO, and it was built. A structure was built around it. But this no, these few news actually pop up, and after some time they get like vanished. They vanished off. Like, I wonder that who actually vanishes them off.
Yeah, the
They
sto-
slowly die up.
yeah, the big one they say is in South Korea.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, I don't know, man. I don't know what but the interdimensional theory is a good one. What if have you ever heard of the extraterrestrials, where the aliens, like they have on my shirt, they're from they're actually us that have evolved from or thousands upon
Of course,
thousands
of
of
course.
years in the future, and they're coming back to visit and study us. Have you heard that story?
Yeah. Of course, of course. That is the most prevalent story, like, which is really believable, that they have, like, the brains have got in them. What has happened? Like, our body, our human body, their human body has shrinked. Their human body has shrink, but their brain material has increased. So their heads are much bigger in proportion to their bodies. So their intelligence has increased, and that is why they visit us, so that they can study more and get in some new information, so that their civilization actually doesn't do all the bad things we have done, and they probably try to change us, so that the fallout, probably the nuclear fallout or anything, that it doesn't happen. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it'd be nice if they came back and did something good, because a lot of bad things going on in the world. You know,
yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
So what's
Yeah.
life like in India? What's a typical, you know, what do you do for you? What are your hobbies? What do you do for fun?
Well, I sometimes play cricket, because cricket is pretty
Yeah,
famous around here. Cricket, cricket, of course.
yeah. Do you have kids?
Yeah. Yeah?
Do you have children?
No, I don't have children.
No children.
I'm just 32. So yeah.
Yeah. You married or just single? Not married?
Oh, I'm single. I'm single.
Wow. Look, you
Yeah.
living the life. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, do you
Yeah.
live in an apartment? I mean, where you live in an apartment, or where do you live? Where do you live?
I live in my own house only. I have
Oh,
an own house.
wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I've pretty big and like okay kind of a house. Pretty big house only. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see like I said, the plot. You always see the pictures of the people just crammed in everywhere. You don't know that it could be suburban, like Sacramento, where there's just houses. That's
Well,
awesome.
India is a place where the foreign media, actually, not really the US media, but the Europe media, shows India in a bad light. So they show that India is very cramped, it has no sanitation or something. But actually, India is pretty very beautiful. You go to Mumbai, you wouldn't understand that it is Mumbai or Singapore. you go to Mumbai, and you come to Kolkata. It's so very clean and it's so very good roads and all stuff. And then you go to other places like Pune, so very clean. And India has some beautiful. Indore is another place where it is very clean. So India, first of all, you have to understand that India has a huge population. So maintaining that population and sustaining that population is a huge deal, which probably US or Europe doesn't have to do. Yet India is doing a very good job.
That's awesome. Have you served in the
Yeah.
military?
Me,
Yeah, have you served in the military?
oh, I went to the military, but then something actually happened. Not really something, but I didn't do actually. But I went to the military. It is actually called SSB, and it was in Allahabad, and it was one kind of an experience. But after that, I did my education and engineering and MBA. But then I thought that I have to do something that is exactly outside my domain. Like I have to venture into something that is not really what I've done ever. So that is the reason why I've come into acting, and like it's a new world for me. So every day I spend doing something entirely different and new, and that is the motivation for me. Yeah.
Good. Well, do you have anything to add, or you'd like to tell the show about, or about
Yeah.
UFOs or extraterrestrials?
Yeah. I really think that first of all, you have to have a vision of the world, and not only US, Europe, or Asia. So the world is actually coming very close together, and is going to be a global village. And probably 5 to 7 years from now, we will get accurate information about aliens and UFOs. And I think papers will be leaked, and things will be brought out. Not only like they would be leaked, I think the government itself will do something to bring out real information for the people, because the world is actually, I think, I don't know, but I think the world is actually getting good. I don't know why I have that feeling, but you would say that no, there are wars and stuff, but still the world is actually getting good. And you would understand that in 2 3 years that some hidden information would come out, and the government would actually say it to people that okay, there are UFOs, there have been aliens, and there are aliens, something like something official would happen, and pretty soon actually. Yeah.
So you think that'll bring the world together? The information and the disclosure of aliens and UFOs is actually bring the world closer together rather
Yeah,
than farther
because
apart.
if there's any truth in that, the government will release at one point of time. If there's any truth in that, I think that the government is not really in fear anymore. It will release if there is any real truth inside that domain, UFO and aliens. The government will bring it. So the government, the world is in good hands, I think, right now. You may see that there are wars going on, but things will be better. That is my not only my prediction, but I really think so. Yeah.
What is your you can't speak for the entire country. Your view of our
Yeah.
president Trump and what he's been doing, like with um, immigration, and throwing people out of the country that shouldn't be here or whatever. What is the view? What is
Yeah.
generally your viewpoint about what he's doing, what the job he's doing?
Yeah.
Or do you
Look,
care? Do you have? If you don't have a viewpoint, it's okay. I'm always curious. So.
no. It's actually, I think that first of all, I think that whatever he does or says is somewhat of a thinking about America first. So I think he thinks about America first, and then he's taking some steps. But there are a pretty mark when you have people coming in from Somalia and doing bad in the US and stuff, because those nuisances are actually present in the US. So you cannot practically negate everything and say that every immigrant who are coming illegally are actually good. You cannot say that. I don't think so that you can actually say that. So well, there may be some of what he's doing that may be like questionable or something, but overall, I don't really think he's a bad person. I think he's a good person only. Like, yeah, that is my viewpoint.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
completely
I
saying
was.
my viewpoint.
Yeah, my wife
Yeah.
does. My wife doesn't like him. You know, she's a Democrat and liberal.
Okay, okay, okay.
So I always
Yeah,
it'd be
that's perfectly fine because she can have her own viewpoint, and
right.
you also can have your viewpoint. But
Yeah,
it doesn't really mean that we have to like fight over it. I don't.
yeah,
Everyone has their own viewpoints, and they can properly channelize their views. I think so.
yeah. It's just
Don't you think so?
yeah, and if you
Don't you think so?
yeah, I think the whole thing keys on just everybody remain calm and just state your opinion, and then go away
Yeah.
quietly, and then everything will be fine. You
Yeah,
know? Well, I appreciate your coming on the show. You have anything else
yeah.
you want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Uh, According to my plans, I would pretty soon, like probably in 1, 2, 3 years, I would go to US and
Yeah.
I would probably work in Hollywood. So
Oh,
that is
really?
my yeah. I've got a few connections and stuff, so I will probably work in Hollywood. But let's see. And I do love the US and I do love my country, India, and I think both will prosper together and the world will be in a better state and will be in a proper state. And both countries will be going miles, going good.
Well stated, Abhishek. Well, I
Yeah,
appreciate you
yeah.
coming on the show. I hope you make it in
Yeah, thank you.
Hollywood. I'll be waiting to see you on
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Are you acting, or are you going to be acting? Are you directing, or what are you going to be doing in the film industry?
Primarily, I would think that I will be acting only. And after that, probably I would venture into some producing or stuff like. But mainly, I would think I would be acting only. So, yeah.
Great. All right, sir. You have anything
Yeah, thank
else?
you.
We can
Thank you,
wrap it
sir.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for
Thank
coming
you. Nice
on.
to talk to you. It was very beautiful.
Awesome. Okay.
Very beautiful. Thank you.
All right, sir. Take it
Yeah,
easy.
thank
Have a
you.
good day. Hope all the weather's good and everything there. And I'll talk to you
Everything
soon.
is good and you be good and everything should be good
Good.
everywhere.
We'll keep in touch,
Yeah.
okay? All right, Simi.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Take care, sir. All right.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Alien Probe Podcast. We welcome comments, questions, or guest requests to alienprobepodcast@gmail.com. Visit us on Facebook. Listen to us wherever you get your favorite podcasts, Twitter and Instagram at Alien Probe Pod, YouTube and Rumble at Alien Probe Podcast. We also have a paid version on Patreon if you'd like to show your support. However, the content is free on all other platforms.